Welcome to round number 7 for URC, and today we have Baku or Azerbaijan, which is one of my favorite tracks. So I'm gutted that I can't race, but hopefully the people in here give me a show. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. And as you can see, we have the timer go down. So it's a short quality today. And Jensen confirming short calling in the Discord channel because of the lack of drivers, which is a bit nicer for me, as I will have to run if it takes too long. But this time I will leave the stream going. If I have to leave, I'll just leave it at the top battle at the time. But the comms will go quiet. It's looking grey, but so far so dry, which I think Jonesy will be happy about. So we see a Ferrari being the first driver on track, and it's Landscape King reserving from SPRC. So yeah, Baku, a very special street track, a lot of straights, and the rest is basically 90-degree corners, especially sector 1. So yeah, it's a difficult one. You either sacrifice a bit of straight line speed or you sacrifice a bit in the corners. And this is also a very heavy track for the rear tires. They get worn out very, very quick, because it's such traction zone out of basically every corner. So yeah, the rear tires are gonna take a beating, which can get these corners that Landscape King goes through now, as we have Arian crashing out in turn 2, and we will hopefully see it from this perspective when Landscape King now comes through turn 1. and I used the wrong button, and it's gone. But from what I could see, looked like I'm just gone straight on, and possibly hit the wall. We have Landscape King coming through turn 3, and through turn 4, takes the curb, which you can do, but I feel it's smoother to go as close to the curb as possible without taking it. This one, you want to cut as much as possible. Landscape King grazing the wall there, I think. Safe through castle, which is always important. Ooh, and just stays on track there. And now through a tricky braking zone, going downhill. Look like Landscape clipped the wall again. And now comes through the final real corner, and now it's just King's. I will try to not lose the grip, and now it is a motorway, trying to do as little corrections as possible, opening the DRS as soon as possible, coming over the line for a 1:41.7, and Ozen coming towards the line to beat that 1:40.7. Barbarian beat up on the medium tires, 1:40.2. So we will see a bit of track evolution. Jonesy now coming towards the line on 1:40.2 as well, but slightly faster. And Iron Con goes P4. And Dan 1:39.0. Dan first into the 39s. And here comes Spillage crossing the line for 1:40.6 P4. Owen J. Wilson goes P2. Sharpie next across the line. Owen 1:39.3 on the medium tires, a very quick lap. Sharpie P5 1:40.4. And D. Foskett crossing the line to go P10. And here comes Street Pitaku for try number 2. Aryan had wheel troubles, which is plain, as Street Pitaku goes P3 and Zach goes P4, both with a 1:40.0. Panda coming towards the line goes P10 on the medium tires. And with this many qualifying on mediums, I don't see it being wet, or at least not at the start. But still, I would probably start on the medium, or soft, sorry. Due to the high risk of it being a safety car. So you can see all the drivers going slow. You see Panda is pushing. looks to be pushing a bit. Also, I have to do admin details in my main league. Sorry for that. Let's see. As we see, people are getting on out laps again. Ozan looks to be furthest along. There we go. Let's see, Ozan has not improved, is pretty far behind, which I would be a bit worried about. Obviously, Section 1, if you nail it the first time around, you can be slightly behind. I'll still find massive amounts of time through Sector 2 and 3 if you have made a mistake there. But 3 tenths is a big gap, so it's gonna be interesting. And Ozan decides to not go for it, which puts a Ferrari of Jonesy, who's improving. And Jonesy goes P3. And Pi improves by a full second, goes P2. On the softs, we will go on the best tires. And Owen goes purple with a 1:38.5. Incredible lap from Owen on the soft tires. Next we have Street Pitaku, but we will see Barbarian has found about a second and goes P7 with a 1:40.3. Very quick lap. And we see Foskid and Panda starting their round laps. Panda also on the soft tires, which will mean everyone starting on softs in the top 10. As Ironcon tried it again. Certainly looks like it. You wouldn't want to start on those tires though, so Ironcon will have to hurry up back into the pits. And actually no. Dan does improve, does a 1:38.6. Isn't quick enough. Owen J. Wilson still is purple, and Dan has a little moment through the first turn. And Fosket coming through to the second sector split. That's a tongue twister for someone who isn't American or English speaking. Fosket, oh, finding the wall there. Can Fosket still improve? Fosket is probably looking at their delta. It's just a straight now. And does actually improve a little bit. And Panda jumps up into P9. And right now, Ironcon in strategical pole position. Yes, Landscaped King coming through. Look to have a slight miss through turn 1. It's a bit of curbage through turn 2, which, yeah, curbs generally avoid them. Landscaped probably got a bit distracted there. Takes the turn 4 curb again. And is behind through sector 1. I can probably find a lot of time through the second and third sector. Look to take it a safe route through that corner. Didn't cut it as much as you can do, but they get a pretty good section just off the castle. It's easy to overcook it through there, and now has a good downhill braking zone. How much time have they found? Nothing. Oh, and gets on the curb, and that will lose you some time. Landscaped is really pushing right now. But does improve to a 1:41.5, but it isn't enough. Spinach has invalidated. Zach is halfway around the track. Question is, what can Zach do? Ooh. Close to the wall, but you want to be close to the wall. Looks very solid through there. And now Zach going through the left-handers through the downhill braking zone, and now the split, and has found a lot of time, over half a second, which will be currently P4. Has Zach found a bit more time down to straight? Can they maximize everything? Zach goes P4. Lost a bit of time actually. Ozen is behind again. Oh, and that's a Ferrari round. That's Landscaped crashing. We'll go on board with Ironcon is behind. We'll go on board with Jonesy, who I know wants a good race and can start that quest by getting a good starting position here in qualifying. Jonesy slightly ahead. which is a good start. It takes a lot of courage there, as the checkered flag has fallen. The street will get a best 6. Spillage, Barbarian, Panda 8, 9, 10th, and Fosket 13th. At best, Aroncon and Ozen still have a realistic chance. Jonesy has found almost half a second as well, which will put Jonesy around P3. Question is, can Jonesy improve enough? Jonesy gets P3. Can Pi defend that P3? And Owen J. Wilson retires, crashing through Castle. Can't defend. If anyone improves, Pi gets P3, and Dan look to be behind. Yep, Dan does not improve, and now it's Sharpie and Ironcon. Ironcon goes into the pits. Sharpie is also going into the pits. That is your starting grid for the Baku Grand Prix. We're just waiting for Sharpie's crew to... and there we have it. So, the starting grid will be Owen J. Wilson on pole position, just ahead of Skills Dan. Pi gets P3 ahead of Jonesy. Zach gets P5 for Red Bull. Street Pinnacle P6 in the Alfa Romeo, and Sharpie P7. Spillage P8, Ozen P9, and Barbarian rounds off the top 10. All these guys will start on softs unless it's rain in the race. Panda, Ironcon, Fosket, Landscape, and Arian is the rest of the grid. They will have the free tire choice. This is gonna be interesting indeed. So now we're just gonna wait for the drivers to tinker with their setups. And then we have the countdown. One light, two lights, three lights, four lights. We have the 5 red lights. The lights are out, and away we go. And Dan gets a very good start. But Owen keeps it around the outside, and we see the guys taking good care into turn 1 and now turn 2, which might cause more problems, and there is problems. Street Pitaku has found the escape road. There looks to be damage. Actually, no. We'll go back up where Zack is defending. Here we see cars, a lot of side by side. Oh, and there's a corner cutting penalty. And I think someone lost a front wing, and it's a virtual safety car. And we have a Red Bull without a front wing, which is Pi. And that is not ideal around this track. Pi will be hoping that virtual turns to a real safety car or a full core safety car. So BSC is pretty useless. There you have the predicted pit stop strategies. I will turn on the position changes. Landscape has moved up 6 positions from PA, or to P8, sorry. Arian has moved up 5 places. So a very good start from these guys. Street Pitaku found found the exit road, and Spillage gets a drive-through. Spillage gets a drive-through for speeding under the pit lane, and we see a lot of guys pitting, and they're all pitting for medium tires, I assume, yes. And that's gonna be a very tall order to get them 25 laps. I don't think that's possible, so they will probably do a 2-stop. If they do it, they are gods. But truth be told, the soft tires doesn't last long. As we can see, out in the street, changing position with each other. Now they spread out. We'll look at Barbarian, who is hunting Fosket for the P10. Which is that singular point. Again, the predicted pit stop strategy is the 2-stop. Which, especially for the medium runners, won't happen. Oh, and we see Landscape, Iron Con and Street side by side, and Landscape goes into the pits, and a lot of soft runners have pitted already. Very interesting. It's Street now having a look, but decides not to go for it. As Arian makes a move for P13. These guys, Ancon and Street, still very close. And it's tough to follow a car. You have the dirty air. Oh, and that's Iron Con in the wall. And that's lack of front wing, and it's another virtual safety car. Question is, will it move to a full core safety car? I certainly hope not. I still have that menu up. I am terribly sorry. And now Owen and Dan is pitting. And Zach. And the price of the pit stop is reduced. Sharpie goes on. So Sharpie is now in the race lead. Street Pit and Iron Con finally gets to the pits. Oh, a Zach gets a penalty. Zach gets a drive-through, and I think that yeah, Foskett gets it as well. Gets a drive-through, and that is not what they wanted. So now Zach and Foskett has to take a drive-through. Spillage goes past Barbarian for P6. Panda is closing in on Street, and Sharpie has lost the front wing. Sharpie has lost the front wing, and that is Owen Wilson in the lead. Sharpie, don't crash out. Still no safety car. Go back to tires. Iron Con has gone for hards, which will be able to go to the end, I think. Zach easily passes Sharp as well. And Spillage is going into the pits. Everyone's going into the pits. Jonesy goes P3. Dan and Owen in P2 and 1 respectively. Iron Con slipstreaming the whole straight, getting up to P11 and out just ahead of Zach. Zach still has that drive-through. So this pass won't mean that much. Zach will lose all these positions again. Zach getting closer and closer. Owen with the fastest lap of the race. And Dan takes that away. Iron Con on those hards. Oh, and that's a Ferrari in the wall, and that is gonna be a safety car. Landscape losing it again through there, and there we have the full course safety car. And Zach, you can't serve your drive-through. I don't know if you were intending to pit, but you have pitted because you can't serve it under safety car. And this bunches the field up, which means Jonesy gets back to touching distance to Owen and Dan in front. And yeah, I didn't want it to happen, but I figured it would happen. Cortex has left the session. I was looking through the thing and didn't find him, so he probably joined somehow. And I'm going very slowly, probably saving tires, my guess would be. Don't know the full rules, but so we see Dan slowly creeping up to Owen Wilson. And this helps the medium runners if they want to try get the mediums to the end. Someone like Arjan, who just pitted from mediums, can with a bit of tire saving get them all the way. Obviously they will be worn, but you can still get something. And we're gonna have one more lap of safety car. So the field currently stands Owen J. Wilson, who's been very quick, Dan, who has the fastest lap, Jonesy in the Ferrari, Pi, and actually we can take a look at the position changes. So Jonesy moved up one spot, Pi moved down. Street, after that horrendous start, up into P5, a very good recovery drive so far. Panda up 5 positions up into P6. Foskid up 6 positions up into P7. Ozan up 1 position as well up into P8. Spillage moving down 1 position so far. Iron Con up 2 positions into P10, the last one to get points. Sharply down 4, Barbarian down 12, Zach down 8 positions. And we have the safety car in this lap. Owen has punched it. Jones is up into P2. Dan has already gone down one position, and that's probably gonna be looked at. Pi is still in P4. And we can see behind cars going side by side. And Street keeping ahead of Panda. And now Dan is side by side with the Ferrari. Don't mind me. He's playing tricks on me. Zach gets ahead up into P10. And Spillage very close right now. And Iron Con still on those hard tires. Maybe should have pitted for mediums. And Owen Wilson has pulled a very big gap. Which is very interesting. And now losing a bit of time, and we can see Zach serving that drive-through finally. Ozone getting close to Spillage now. Can't get close on the traction. Obviously, as the train starts to divide up, you will have the help of DRS and lack of DRS for cars around you. Sharpie side by side. Very good driving from both of them, and Barbarian sneaks through as well. So does has Ironcon damage, or is it just tires being that bad? Dan is getting very close as well, and is almost right off Jones's gearbox. You can hear the slipstream. Panda retiring, and that's another safety car, and that is not what Dan wanted. Dan definitely could have made that move possible, and now Pi and Street Piraku is pitting. The question is for what tires? New set of mediums. And Ironcon comes in. And Street Piraku puts the hards on. Yeah, Ironcon puts the medium tires back on. Fosket is on the hards as well. Decides not to come in to pursue the mediums. Stays P13 for now. So yeah, we're gonna let the field catch the safety car, who is on the other side of the track. And Foskett gets a drive-through for speeding on the safety car. And yeah, you don't want that. Owen goes into the pits. So does Jonesy. Dan stays out. Dan is now the race leader. So Dan is now behind the safety car, which should mean that other drivers doesn't have to adhere to any sort of timing. Sorry, doing some admin. Stuff in the background whilst we're waiting for Foskett to catch the field, and it looks like he is caught up, which can mean the safety car goes in this lap. Let's see. Yes, the safety car is in this lap. So Dan is in control of the field. Question is, when does he decide that he wants to go? Spillage with a good reaction, and there is a couple of drivers overtaking before the finishing line. I don't know whether this league runs with the official rules, which is... Oh, and there's some barging going on. But the real rules, which is the safety car line or the start finishing line. Oh, and there is a lot of contact between Owen, Arian, and Barbarian, I think that was. Oh, don't lose your tire. And Arian retires. That may have been on purpose. And it's another safety car, which is good for Owen. He can get that front wing replaced. Then yeah, now the question is, what do you do? Depending on how fresh your second set of mediums is, put on a set of mediums to go the 11 laps. That it will be once we go racing. Or do you do a stick it out on these tires and pray? especially in the end, it will be very, very tough. So we're just waiting for Owen to catch back up. Owen has put on his other set of mediums that he has already used. Does the safety car decide to go in this lap? I wonder. No, we're gonna have one more lap behind the safety car. It means we will go to racing at the end of lap 15 and beginning of lap 16. And yeah, safety cars are pretty hard to figure out stuff to say. Maybe we can look at the standings. If I can find URC. Here we go. So the championship standings after round 6 is Dan is currently in the lead in front of Liam, who isn't here, and Zach in P3, who is currently P5, and then it's a bit of a gap down to Sharpie, Jonesy and Pie. We have Owen Wilson with 26 points as a reserve. And the race results from last race, which was Imola, is Owen Wilson winning for Aston Martin in that race with the fastest lap, ahead of David after pitting for fresh tires and just being able to pull that 3 seconds ahead of David. Dan got P3. The safety car is in this lap. Constructor standings, whilst we're still waiting. Alfa Romeo has 14 points down to Red Bull Racing, and between Red Bull and Mercedes it is 8 points. So there you have the 3 big teams to keep an eye on. and Pi has gone, and Dan has gone, and Pi gets left. Zach staying behind, and they are 3 wide, going into turn 1. Zach stays P5, but gets ahead of Ozen, who loses 2 positions. Sharpie comes down the inside. Ozen with a better line. Keeps P6. But can he keep it into turn 3? For now, yes. We see Spillage going down the inside. And Barbarian having a look as well. And Owen with the pace advantage. On the inside and is up into the points once again. And I think we will see Owen pushing as hard as possible now. Here is a mighty train, and now Owen has joined the back of that train. We'll have to try and pick them off one by one. Here, chooses the outside and gets it done before the downhill turn. And now Owen is pushing through and catching up to Ironcon. As we can see, Ironcon and Sharpie going side by side. Ironcon, oh! And Sharpie goes wide, and Owen sneaks through. And now goes down the inside of Ironcon. Moves up 2 positions in 2 corners. And now is having a look to get Ozen. 3 corners in 3 turns. Is it possible? For Owen J. Wilson, yes. Moves up into P6. What a drive. And now the next target is Zach, who is currently chasing Street Pitaku. And this is definitely a fight for constructors between Zach and Street. The Alfa Romeo. Oh, and Street hit the wall, bounced into Zach, and put Zach in the wall as well. The ghosting didn't come on soon enough, and Owen J. Wilson is up into P4. Bear in mind, he started the last lap outside of the points. Is now into P4. And now Ironcon and Ozen is side by side going towards turn 1. They are inseparable. But Ironcon has the outside line. And we'll have P5. Can Ozen get into turn 3? Doesn't look like Ozen is close enough. Barbarian and Sharpie also close together. Zach going into the pits to repair that front wing. Street Piraku also had to pit. Now Spillage is close. And Sharp is close. We're looking at Ozan like a lion is looking at their prey. And Spillage gets it done before the straight even starts, and now Sharpie is moving around, but Ozan is getting slipstream, heavy slipstream, but gets blocked in. But Ozan keeps it on the outside. Can I do it again? No, Sharpie is further ahead this time and will get ahead. And now Barbarian has gotten into the mix, but didn't get any DRS apparently, so can't get enough speed. We will take a look at the top guys now, as we have Jonesy very close to Dan. And we have a yellow flag in sector 2, that's Barbarian having a moment. Now Jonesy is close to Dan. I don't think Dan has any DRS either. And Dan goes into the pits. And that's definitely going to be soft tires for Dan. But I don't think it's gonna work. I think Dan is gonna at best get P4 today. But we will have a look at Jonesy hunting down Pi, the Ferrari driver, has been very vocal about wanting to win tonight. He's now going fastest out of everyone in sector 1. And Pi is sweating. Jonesy is probably just waiting for the straight, where he will easily get by Pi. If he can manage to stay within that DRS, he has dropped back a lot now. You see Dan up into P7 and hunting Sharpie. But Jonesy stays within that DRS range and will get it. And will therefore make the move very easy up into P1. And now the question is, can Pi get close enough or stay close enough to make the move into turn 3? Jonesy moving and stays ahead of Pi. Can't get it to work. We will look at Spillage chasing Ironcon for P4. Spillage on the inside, leave space, and Spillage gets it done. Very nice driving from both of them. And now Sharpie is getting into the mix for P5. 4. follow Pi on in the final. Is Pi close enough? No. Can they keep close enough? And to get it done into turn 3. And again, Jonesy with that very defensive line. Dan gets the fastest lap of the race, 41.7, and is hunting. Has a look but doesn't decide to go for it. Now Dan, and everyone is flashing. Everyone using a lot of URS. Now Spillage is under threat. And Street Pinnacle takes the fastest lap from their teammate. With a 41.6. And Pi is now out of DRS. Meanwhile, Owen is hunting Pi. But yes, Pi doesn't have DRS for this lap. As we see Dan trying to move on the inside of Spillage, can't get it done. And has dropped back a little. Losing some time through that compromised line. And Spillage has that DRS as well from Ironcon, which helps Spillage keep ahead. Dan has a look but can't get close enough. And Dan is stuck here in 6th. Spillage now faking and going to the left but can't. And now he's under serious threat from Dan, but places the car perfectly in the middle of the track. Makes it impossible, but Dan gets through on the exit. Dan obviously with very good traction in those softs. Gets up into P5. And now is chasing Ironcon. But we are gonna take a look at Pi, because Pi has actually already dropped Owen, but also all the way around. And there's a yellow flag. Barbarian losing it in the same spot again. Just after the castle section. Now Dan will have a very easy pass. P4, which I think is Dan's maximum. Unless someone crashes. Barbarian crashing on the straight, but that's not gonna be a safety car because it's too late. So no safety car. And that's a bit of a commentator's curse, and I accidentally put it on Barbarian. Which I obviously didn't mean to, so I'm very sorry, Barbarian. But Barbarian gets that P12. And now, oh, Sharpie has lost the front wing. And that is just before the castle section, which is an interesting place. Spillage now closing in on Ironcon, and this is gonna be a mighty fight on the last couple of laps, but we also are keeping an eye on that Jonesy versus Owen battle, because it's only 1.2 seconds now. Owen Spillage doesn't want to pass Ironcon. Spillage lets go of the throttle to stay behind Ironcon. Interesting. Spillage goes for it this time, but Ironcon keeps ahead. Very interesting battle, which is almost like chess. And now there's a yellow flag. Someone's spinning turn 1, and I honestly can't say who, because I don't know. But here, the battle for the race lead, when we are just about to enter the final lap of the race, and Owen is within that DRS distance, pushing crazy hard, but only has one lap to do something, and Pine retires in those final kings. So Dan will get P3. But now Owen, half a second behind, has caught up massively. Can Owen get anything done? No, this straight is a bit too short. We will take a quick look at Spillage versus Ironcon. And whilst they are going through the tight section, Spillage is chasing but can't get it done. Tries to switch back with a wider entry. Gets stuck on the outside, tries it again. But Ironcon keeps ahead. A very good battle. And I have to have two heads, because I'm looking at Jonesy versus Owen as well. Spillage has a little look. Can't get it done. Foskett and Street Pitaku is fighting as well. But I'm gonna have to let go of this battle, because Owen versus Jonesy is coming to its climax. Through the final kings, Jonesy still in the lead. Owen can't get it. Jonesy is gonna win the Baku Grand Prix, and it's deserved because he's been very, very quick. But now, Spillage versus Ironcon. Who will get P4? Dan will get the podium. Spillage is closing and closing and closing. They are side by side. Spillage will get P4 just on the line. Ironcon is behind. And we'll take a look on the fight for P9, which do get you 2 points, where Foskett gets ahead of Street Pitaku before the final real turn. Now the kings begin, and it's Foskett just ahead, but Street Pitaku gets ahead. Street Pitaku gets ahead. Fosket gets the DRS and slipstream. Fosket doesn't get it. Street Pitaku keeps P9 and gets 2 vital points for Alfa Romeo. Iron Kong gets the driver of the day. And I would honestly have to say Owen is my driver of the day. Very, very good drive from the reserve driver driving for Haas F1 team today. Ural Kali Haas, as I think they are called. A very good race with some interesting battles going all the way to the end. Jonesy winning from P4 on the grid. A good shout for driver of the day today. But my driver of the day goes to P2 Owen J. Wilson. Very quick and a very good recovery drive after starting outside the points and then being P4 after one lap. Dan gets P3. Solid drive. Spillage P4, Ironcon gets P5, Osen P6, Zach P7, Sharpie P8, Street Pitaku gets P9, Fosket gets P10. The rest of the guys you can see here, as I won't have the time. A very, very good race. A couple of incidents, which will be looked at, of course, but that is the preliminary results. It's been a great race, as usual. And yeah, I have been your host and commentator, Jesper. Please check out the rest of my channel if you like league racing, as I race a couple of days a week. So yeah, but this has been the URC Round 7 around Azerbaijan, and next week it is let's see, next week it is Russia, so I will see you there. Same time, same channel. Enjoy your evening, guys, and good night.